Hey everybody, it's Alex at Motoroso.com, your dedicated mods marketplace. And today we're in studio to talk about the must-have mods for the iconic Nissan 370Z. Across the generation, Z cars have been a favorite in the JDM scene, and despite getting a little bit long in the tooth after 10 years as a platform, the 370Z remains to grow in its popularity as one of the best cars for tuners and enthusiasts. And because of that, the aftermarket is absolutely packed and overflowing with mod options for you. So we're gonna make a quick video to help you cut through the clutter and figure out which mods you absolutely must have. Now, of course, you can shop for all your 370Z mods and over 1 million top name brand products sold by trusted vendors at great prices, and the shipping is always free at Motoroso.com. And if you like our videos, like and subscribe to the channel. Now let's talk about the must-have mods for your 370Z. Whether you bought the automatic or the manual 370Z, one of the things this car is unfortunately notorious for is overheating when you're driving hard on the street or especially at the racetrack. Now, keeping your engine cool is important for maximizing power and minimizing damage, and some low-hanging fruit is doing a radiator and thermostat upgrade. Mishimoto or Coilovers radiator will run you about $550 and a thermostat about $70, and the thermostat will just open at a lower temperature, making sure to keep everything cool, maximizing performance and protecting your engine. And because this is low-hanging fruit, we think it is a must-have mod to ensure you maximize your go fast fun time and minimize the amount of time that you're sidelined. We'll put a link in the description to a radiator and thermostat on Motoroso.com. Just like any engine in any car, the VQ37 engine in your 370Z likes to breathe. And the OEM intake is okay on this car for putting around, but if you want maximum performance, you're gonna wanna look at getting an intake. Intakes can offer up to 15 horsepower and 16 foot-pounds of torque gains, depending on whether you go with short tube or long tube options. But the colder the air, the more dense it is, and the more bang you're gonna get out of the air going into the cylinders. So we've made a list of 3 options from good to better and best that we think are some of the best buys in the industry, starting with the AFE Power Takeda TR3009. This system is a short tube system, but it has high flow filters, which means it's pulling in more air than your stock filter. But it is pulling in air from the engine bay because it's a short tube, and that engine bay air is gonna be hotter than air that's coming from outside the engine bay, which is the benefit to a long tube system. But the reason we like this is it's made from aluminum, looks great under the hood, allows more airflow, and it comes in at only $400. The next best option is going to be the AFE Power Takeda TA301P system, which is a long tube system, which drops the air filter down inside the bumper at the front of the car, pulling the cold air in from outside the car and creating velocity up those long tubes into the actual air intake manifold. At just over $500, this is one of the best values in cold air intake systems that are long tube. And our pick for the best option on an intake on your 370Z is the InGen SP1989P, which is also a long tube system that uses 2 separate tubes and 2 separate filters, puts those filters back down into the bumper just like the long tube system from AFE, but because they're separate, they're not competing for the same air. The other reason we choose InGen as our favorite for a 370Z is because InGen is a brand that focuses on JDM performance, and you know they're paying that little bit of extra attention to detail. At just under $600, that's our best pick, and we'll put links to all these in the description. Our next must-have mods is exhaust systems, and this is an obvious one because this is one of the most popular mods anybody does on any car in the enthusiast industry. But on your 370Z, there are 3 major areas of your exhaust system that are worth identifying as different components that are all opportunities for performance, starting with headers. One of the best bangs for your buck is the headers on an exhaust system on a 370Z because the stock exhaust manifold is cast and it's extremely restrictive, and it always has been on Zs. So short tube or long tube headers are gonna be great enhancement to power because they get tons more exhaust gases out, and people can see a 20 wheel horsepower gain from header systems. Now, if you need to stay California legal, you're gonna need to go with short tube headers and get a high flow cat. Catalytic converters are the most restrictive part of any exhaust system, so those high flow cats are gonna allow you to move more gases through, gain up to 16 wheel horsepower, and very importantly for people that live here, remaining California compliant. And because apparently Nissan engineers really like causing restrictive exhaust systems, they now funnel those two exhaust manifold systems through the cat down into a restrictive Y-pipe. So most of your catback systems are going to eliminate that Y-pipe and go to a dual pipe system all the way out the back of the car, and that can free up yet another 12 horsepower. All right, so we've talked about how to get more air into the engine and exhaust gases out of the engine. The next must-have mod is a tuner module. Because you've made these changes to the engine, you've got to recalibrate things like air-fuel mixture and the spark advance to make sure that the engine is running clean and maximizing the gains that you've just invested in. So tuner modules, there are many, many different options out there, but we recommend the Bully Dog GT tuner for one very specific reason. It's 4 devices in one, giving you diagnostic and monitoring tools, but it's also 50 state legal. Okay, we talked about getting high flow cats and remaining 50 state legal. If you live in California, this is extremely important. And so for around 500 bucks, the Bully Dog GT tuner is gonna be a must-have mod that lets you plug in pre-made maps or get custom maps made to maximize the power gains and fuel efficiency and keep your engine running clean and strong. All right, so we've got a few go fast bits installed. Now it's time to switch the conversation to how to carry a little bit more corner speed. So one of the first steps you're gonna need to take to getting through corners a little bit quicker is to sell your 370Z and buy a 2020 C8 Corvette. I'm sorry, that was unnecessary. We just bought one and we really like it. I'm not trying to be mean, but you should definitely subscribe to the channel because you're gonna wanna see what we do with our C8. But back to your 370Z, the suspension is known for being excellent out of the box, and you're gonna be able to get a long way with that suspension stock. But if you're ready to take it to the next level and get a little bit more performance, one of the best mods you can do here is a set of coilovers. You're gonna start to gain controls like ride height control, which is both a styling and a performance upgrade, spring preload, compression damping, high and low speed compression damping, rebound damping, and all the other controls that you can use to really tune exactly the way that your vehicle handles through corners. And one of our favorite brands in this industry is the BC Racing Coilover Kit, which will set you back around $1,000, and it's an incredible value and a great mod for your 370Z. With a set of improved dampers in place, you're gonna wanna match that new performance with an upgraded set of sway bars and adjustable end links. The most important reason for this is because now you've probably, very likely, can change the ride height of your 370Z. Now it's riding lower and the sway bars and the end links are not set up to work with that lowered height. So adjustable end links will allow you to make that adjustment. But the sway bars that come on your 370Z are basically made out of junk metal, and they do provide torsional stiffness, but they're just not gonna perform as nicely as a set of spring steel, chromoly, solid sway bars from a brand like Whiteline. With power and handling enhancements in place, it's time to talk about how to get your 370Z slowed down. One of the best places to make up time on a racetrack is on the brakes, and this is oftentimes overlooked. If you drive the base version of a 370Z, your brakes, honestly, if you're pushing it, are a little bit sketchy. You're gonna wanna look at a big brake kit, replacing the caliper pads and rotors and lines to make sure your braking performance keeps up with the speeds you wanna pull. Now, if you've got the better version of the brakes with the Akimoto calipers, those brakes actually perform pretty well. The place for improvement there is in the rotors, pads, and brake lines, and we have an excellent option from StopTech that comes in under $900, includes cross-drilled and slotted rotors, upgraded pads, and stainless steel braided brake lines, and you'll notice a marked improvement in how hard you can get those stoppers pulled. If you've gone through this whole list of mods and you've got these all installed, by now your Z is performing like a champ. And hopefully that means you're taking it to the racetrack. If you're taking it to the racetrack, even with that radiator and thermostat in place, you're still gonna start looking at some heat issues. We highly recommend considering an oil cooler. For a little under $500, a Mishimoto oil cooler will help keep that engine healthy, happy, and running cool. Now, it's pretty tough to say that this next mod on our list is a must-have mod, but frankly, if you've been through this whole list already, your 370Z is absolutely kicking ass by now, and now it is a must-have mod. If you're ready to start making big boy power, it's time to start looking at a Supercharger. And at between $5,000 and $8,000, this is not an inexpensive mod, but 550 wheel horsepower and a 3,500 pound 370Z is something everybody needs. All right, that wraps up all of our must-have mods for the 370Z. We hope you found the video helpful. Give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel because we got more videos like this and our build projects like our F-150, our S550 Mustang, and our brand new 2020 C8 Corvette. Make sure when you're shopping for your mods, you check out Motoroso.com, where you can browse over 1 million top name brand products sold by trusted vendors at great prices, and the shipping is always free with no minimum. We're there on live chat, and you can reach us at 833-MOTOROSO. Thanks for watching.